Hi, it's Lynn here from Lynn's Crafty Life, and this is my entry for Shannon. And Shannon is from Morrisseys Arts and Craft Studio, and she has a 500 subby giveaway. I'm a new subby to her, so this is the first time I'm entering her challenge, but on the other hand, I think this may well be her first challenge, so I'll pop a link down to her challenge and her channel below, so please check her out. And she lives in the UK, so if you want to enter and you live in Europe at least, you've got to be quick. I hope mine will still arrive on time. What she wanted you to do was make a postcard of 3 inches by 5 inches and 2 ATC cards in your own style. Now, this is the kind of vintage postcard that I made. To be honest, I'm not sure how much I actually like it. I tried doing it vintage style and coffee dyeing for the very first time. I probably did it the wrong way around because I made it first and then I thought, that's all very right. Let's try staining it with some coffee. So I didn't coffee dye it first, I coffee dyed it last. So, which is probably not the right way around, but it became quite brown, which in one sense is quite vintage. On the other hand, I thought it was a bit too brownish, so I went over it with gesso again just to tone it down a bit. And so what I did is I took some very pretty paper, and actually I'll show you the back. This is the back. I made these are. This is actually one lace that I put together. I glued it together in the middle, went around it with some nice trim, and this card is actually this card, which is one of my favorite cards, my favorite papers. It just comes out of a cheap paper block, but I just love these roses. So this is actually what I used for the background. You can't see much of it, but I put doily over it that I got from Nola Harris. Then I went around it with this little bubble trim, which was actually a stark white. But as I said, I stained it. Then I put these, I had these hydrangea leaves. They're from fabric. I had them in my stash. So I thought, well, I never use them actually. I hardly ever use anything else but creams, whites and pinks. So I thought, let's try a different color. And I actually do like how they turned out. And there's this pretty butterfly sitting on top of there, which is 2-layered. Here's another layer. There you see, it's got 2 layers, and I got that pretty butterfly from Nola Harris as well. So then I put these little roses. They're like pearly roses, but again I went over it with gesso, and over the butterfly I went over that with some stickles to give it a bit of shine and glitter. And then I had some on my finger, and I went over the little roses as well with kind of the leftover glitter. So there's a little bit of glitter on the little roses. So that's my vintage postcard for Shannon. Showed you the back already. And this is the little card. I just put my my details on there. And then an ATC card. Now they are all very different because this one is kind of more like an autumn theme ATC card. Let me just put that a bit more there. And I just took some cardstock, and I recently got some inks, like distress inks from Ranger, from Tim Holtz, and I used 3 different kinds on there. Maybe you can see it, and I went over that with some Cosmic Shimmer. So I don't know if it picks it up, but it is, I don't mean the glitter on the leaf, but the paper here is very shimmery. Yeah, it picks it up here a little bit, I think. So I love that. I love that Cosmic Shimmer. It really does what it says. Absolutely gorgeous. Then I got some of these leaves, kind of like autumn leaves, and the gold glitter that's on the leaves here was already on there. I had this beautiful lace flower in my stash, and in the end I thought, well, it needs something extra, so I had also these berries, these orange berries in my stash, and I thought, well, it's almost autumn, so this is more like an autumn theme ATC card. To be honest, I'm actually not sure if you're supposed to make ATC cards like 3D or mixed media. I'm sorry if I was not supposed to do that. This is the first time I'm making ATC cards, but I think I like it and I hope it's alright. And this is the back. Now this pretty ribbon I got from Eva Severiano from Greece. And this is some pearl trim that I had in my stash. And again, this is just a little card. And I just went through my paper stash, went for the autumn colors. So I put my details on there. And then the last ATC card, or the second one, is this one. Now I think I like this one most because I just love this image. I've used it before and I had this one already printed out and it was the perfect size for this little ATC card. So I went around it with this small trim. And I had these this tiny little flat back pearl trim from Linda Wright, which I used, and this little cluster I had in my stash. It's actually from like a circle that you do around a candle, just to decorate the candle, and I just took it all apart on purpose to use in my crafts, and I just really like that little cluster or spray of pearly beads, and it's just really nice, I think. And I went over this with stickles as well, which you can see. It's really very shiny on her hat and on her dress. So that's my second ATC card, and this is the back. Again, the beautiful ribbon from Eva Severiano. So thank you, Eva. And thanks to Linda. Oh, my camera's doing weird again. And thanks to Linda for the pretty pearls. And this is like a little card that I had made in the card workshop. It belongs to a larger card, but I didn't really like the design. It was kind of like a harmonica kind of style card. And personally, I didn't really like that. So I did make it, but then I cut it all apart. And it's these pretty little square parts came off the harmonica. So I thought I may as well use that as a pretty little card. I put my details on the back again to go in here. So these are my entries for Shannon for Morrisons, and hope she likes at least some of them. And thank you all for watching. Bye bye.